What's going on, guys? It's time to review Despicable Me 3. I cannot believe there have been 3 of these movies, plus that god-awful Minions spin-off movie. So I'm going to talk about Despicable Me 3. Now, this is a movie that I was going into it. I liked the trailers, and I liked what I'd seen. I thought the trailers were actually really funny. And I was really kind of nervous that, you know, with most animations, I've been disappointed with a lot of the animations lately. They just haven't hit as much as I wanted them to, and it's just gotten a bit too silly sometimes for me. And I was really worried that all the best jokes have been shown in the trailers for Despicable Me 3, and they haven't. I was really kind of surprised. Pretty much everything you see in the trailer happens within the first 10 minutes of the movie. It's that quick, and I really, really like that. That was a strong way to start the movie. It was still funny. The jokes still worked, but, you know, they got it over and done with. So, okay, this is all the stuff you've seen in the trailer right now. And now we're going to get onto the story, and there are a couple of good surprises in this movie. You know, a couple of things happen plot-wise that I wasn't expecting that I really enjoyed. So in this movie, they introduced Gru's twin brother, Drew. And now they're both voiced by Steve Carell, and he puts on a slightly different voice for Drew. And Drew is a bit more flamboyant, a bit, I don't want to say gay, but yeah, a bit more flamboyant. And you know, he's got the blonde hair, you've seen other posters and things. And the interaction between those two characters is hilarious. I really, really like it. And you know, being the older brother of you know, 4 children, I get the interaction. I think people with siblings will get it. And you know, again, like, they're taking a page out of Disney's book or Pixar's book, I should say, with the sort of, you know, do some kid humor, some kiddie jokes, but also do some adult jokes that, you know, will just sort of fly over the kids' heads, but the adults will get a kick out of. I don't know if I can say this about the other 2 Despicable Me movies, but this movie in particular, I felt like it walked a really fine line. It was like this movie was walking along a tightrope, and between, you know, on one side is funny, and on the other side is just cringeworthy and over the top, and, you know, almost trying too hard to be funny, or, like, you know, too stupid. And it walked that fine line, and for me personally, it never crossed that over, you know, it didn't fall into the cringeworthy, oh god, that joke, oh, it's just another generic fart joke that isn't funny. It didn't ever cross that for me. And that's, again, something that I really liked about this movie, and I was really happy to see that didn't happen. Now, the villain in this movie is Balthazar Brat, or what, I don't know how to pronounce the name properly, but, you know, he's the main villain that Gru is going after. You know, you've seen it in the trailers, you know, the stealing the diamond and all that sort of stuff. And you know, that story worked. It was fine. It was funny. They had some cool interactions. Brat as a character, every time it just focused on him, I was a little bit bored because I really like Gru, so I was kind of like, just get back to the Gru story, you know. But you know, you had to focus on Brat at some points in the movie to explain what was going on and what his motivations were, and I get that. But the scenes cutting back to him in his sort of lair, in his hangout kind of area, okay, they weren't that great. I didn't enjoy them as much as when Gru or the Minions were on screen, but that's, to me, that, you know, that's just me. It's not everyone's gonna have that problem. I wanted to point this out because I have to. There's a Star Wars reference in this movie, and it just got me giddy and excited. And it's a little tiny one. It's like a throwaway line, but you know, I'm Star Wars for life, so I have to point it out. I enjoyed the Star Wars reference. Where the movie kind of goes into the negatives for me is the pacing. This movie is a little bit oddly paced because you've got a couple of different storylines happening here. You have Gru and, you know, his sort of family now with the Lucy and the kids and the Minions. But the Minions also had their own little side adventure in this movie. And not to say that, you know, their little side adventure wasn't bad. It was funny. It was entertaining. Unlike the Minions movie. But splitting up, you know, the Gru storyline and the Minions storyline, they separate at a certain point in this movie, and it threw the pacing out a little bit. Gru's story, you know, in this movie is a little bit slower paced and a bit more evenly paced. And the minions have these, you know, you cut back to the minions and they're doing these funny things, and they're a lot more sort of fast-paced scenes. And it threw the movie's pacing overall off just a little bit for me. Again, it's not a major problem, but it is a negative that I have with the movie. So guys, that is my review of Despicable Me 3. Once again, Steve Carell's voice as Gru, it just gets me every time. Every time Gru laughs or says something funny, I just want to be able to impersonate that voice. I want to speak like that all the time, but I can't, and it bothers me. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please help me out and look out for my series of Star Wars reviews. We just put up Attack of the Clones with me and my friend Ali. We're going to be reviewing those right up until The Last Jedi, and including The Last Jedi when that drops in December this year. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.